initiating that. So yeah, I have started decoding it. Onyasha, do you have it stored on your computer?
Yeah.
Perfect. Rogers, do you have R stored on your computer?
I've managed to install it.
All right, great, thank you. Alune?
Not yet, but I'm planning to store right now.
Okay, fair, perfect. Sharika, do you have it installed on your computer?
Yes.
I hope Nepal is okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Miriam? Hi, Muriel. All right. So
I'm installing it now. I didn't see the email.
sorry. Okay, it's okay. So I will quickly demonstrate. I hope you can still see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So I will try to demonstrate on how we can do the installation. So, okay, so for, maybe I should start explaining first. For those that are using Windows, we can use these links to get to where we can download R. And then I'll also share this presentation with you at the end. And then we can use this one to get the R Studio, and then this one to get the, and for those that are using Mac, these are the links. But I had to put a caution here because since it says open source software, I mean, developers keep on working on it, and then every time they release a new version. So at least when you're getting a new version, you need not to install it instantly. At least wait for a month for it to become a what is known as a stable version. So a stable version is something that maybe like has the issues that maybe were reported during its initial phase of release have been sorted out. So I'll try to go to my computer and see if you can see. I'll try just to demonstrate on the Windows computer. So let's see. Sorry, I will stop sharing my screen first. Okay, I will new share. So if I go to new share and then I go to all right. Sorry, it looks like I'm having a bit of a problem. So, all right. So I'm going to share my screen. I think you can see my desktop. Can you see my desktop?
Yes, I can see.
Yes, so I will go into a folder where I have written R, and then there were these softwares. So for those that are using Windows, you can use this. So if you just double click on it, and then it will prompt you to do the installation. So if I hit next, you can just be hitting next, and then next as well. But mine here will complain because I already have it installed on my computer. But if it doesn't complain, it might prompt you to use the admin password. You need to put the password of the computer, like the admin password of the computer. So this password is not the one, perhaps, that if your computer maybe has multiple users. So this one maybe might be a different one from the one that you use when you log into your computer. So I wanted just to understand, since we only have one person, Joel, who said has a problem with the installation and perhaps lives where I live in Neno. I think, and since this is being recorded, I think maybe I will meet him in a special way and then we can sort out the coding. Is there any anyone else who has problem with the installation of the software, apart from Joel? Hello?
I guess it is.
Hello, Moses. I think you can proceed.
Ah, okay, thank you so much. So,
Sorry, mine is still installing, but you can proceed or take notes. Thank you.
all right, thank you so much. So I was, let me do the needful as we are learning short of time, but we still have about 30 minutes, so that would be fine. Let me share again, and then, so I was here on the installation or where you can get. So like I said, that you need to get a stable version. Otherwise, if you get a version that has just been recently released, you have some problems with the package and etc. So let's proceed. Once you install the R, then you need to search it from, apologies, I'll be switching back and forth. Okay, so you will need to, yeah, so you will need to go to, if you are using Windows 10, I hope you can see my screen. If you are using Windows 10, then you need to search R Studio, because that's the one we will be using much. So if you search for R Studio, then you go, and then if you right click on it, then you pin it to the taskbar. Unfortunately, on my computer, it will be saying unpin from taskbar because it's already on the taskbar. I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we are able to see.
Perfect. And so when you click it and then it's on your taskbar, you can now click on that R, and then it will load like the way it's loading. I know mine looks a bit black and yours is white. So I think it should appear this way, but yours is white. Don't worry, if you want the black one, I'll also show you how to get the black one. Only that I love the black one because when you write, it has like a variety of colors. I mean, you get like multiple colors. So when you see, I mean, when you do it with those colors, it looks cool. But it should perform the same kind of stuff. So if yours is white, don't worry, it's fine. Now, let me know like how many are able to open their R Studio.
I did, Moses.
Ah, perfect, Sharika. Renard, are you okay over there?
Yeah, very nice.
Ah, great, thank you. Maybe I should just put like a general. Is there anyone who has problems? So silent Shamin, no one has problems, and then we can proceed. So if there's no one who has problems, then we can proceed. Now, I will maybe expand this one a little bit. It's already on 20. So if you go to, you click where I'm clicking on these 3 to 4 dots until you get this particular thing, which show console on left, console on right. If you click on that one, then you find something written as pen layout. So there are some little dots on top there, like it's called workspace pens. If you hover your mouse on that one, it's called workspace pens. So if you click on that one, you'll have this layout, the one that is showing here, and then click on pen layout. So if you hit on layout, you will have this. I know some might be finding some challenges that maybe you don't see where it's written apply down there. I think when you install first, sometimes the application will zoom itself on your computer. Now, to zoom in or out, you need to, because computers are different. If you are using Lenovo, for example, like the one I'm using, then you need to press Control and then the additional sign. But if you are able to see this one, then you need just to click on appearance, and then here you can select whatever you want. If you want, the one that I usually use is called Cobalt. That's the one I use, but mostly there are several versions that you like. If you like this one, then you just hit apply, then the whole and hit OK, then the whole application changes color. And so I said you go on top there are 4 buttons. It's called workspace. If you click on that, you go to pen layout. If you click on pen layout, then you go, this one will pop up, and then you click on appearance, and then you can select from this list. It's called editor theme. You can select any of your choice. I usually use Cobalt. So if I choose Cobalt and then hit apply, and then hit OK, then I should be able to get back to where I was before. And so you can choose whichever you want if you don't like the white one. If you like the white one, fine and good, we can still do with it. I mean, it doesn't matter. It will still do the process the same way. So for some of you, it might be asking you to restart your RStudio. Then you can just press restart. It will restart the application, not the computer. So if you click restart, it will restart the application as an RStudio, and then it will not restart your computer. So you still fine. You can command it that it should restart.
No, we cannot hear you.
Moses, we cannot hear you. Maybe your speaker is on mute.
Ah, yeah, sorry. Apologies. Yeah, it was on mute. Apologies. So, where did I? Where should I start?
On pen layout somewhere there, then he just went silent and
Okay. Apologies for that, guys. So yes, I was saying that if you want to change, if you open your RStudio, it must be white in color. But if you want to change it to any color, I mean, any themes that are available in here, like for me, I like the black theme, the one that you are seeing on my screen. But you can also have like several other themes. So when you go to pen layout, then you go to appearance, and then from appearance, you can choose several here. So from appearance, for example, if I choose Eclipse or this one, and then if you hit apply, the screen will change to the theme you have chosen. So whichever theme you think will be cool for you, then you can choose that theme. But I mostly prefer the Cobalt one because it's like more colorful. I mean, when I try to do the coding. I hope you are hearing me now.
Yes, we can
Loud
hear
and
you.
clear.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, guys. So if you click apply, then you will have, and then hit OK, you will have this one. Now, I will need to take you, I was saying that the next step is we will need to have one folder in our computer where we'll be saving everything concerning this training. So I would like you to go on your desktop, on the computer, on your desktop. On your desktop page, then create a folder there. Name it whatever you want to name it, but maybe for the sake of this training, maybe save it intro to R. So just create a blank folder on your desktop and then name that one intro to R. So once you do that, I hope you are able to see my RStudio open. Now, once you do that, we will need to set our working directory, meaning to say everything that we will need to be working on should be in a specific folder where we can manage things together. So for example, if I want to get data, like which maybe is in Excel format, I'll need just to take that Excel sheet and put in my folder. Then I'll be able to call it from, or maybe to import it into R with just a simple code. Now, how do we do that? So you go on top there, it's written session. So on top there, we have file, edit, code, view, prods, and session. My cursor is on session. So if you click on session, So as I said, you go on top there, there is file, edit code, view, plots, and session. So if you click on session, and then you scroll down to set working directory. If you want, and then you go to the right, and then you go to choose directory.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you choose the directory, it will open up. Once it opens up, then you navigate to your desktop and choose that folder you got, which is Intro to R. And then automatically down there, there will be a code written set WD, then open parenthesis, inside open quotes, and then it gives you the path to your folder.
No, that one we can see.
I am going to repeat this process. So you go to session, on top there, you click on session, and then you go to set working directory, and then you go to choose directory. And then if you click on directory, then it will open up, and then you go to desktop. If I'm assuming, sorry, I'm assuming everyone is using Windows computer. I also have a Mac, but I didn't bother to use the two systems at once. So apologies for that. For those that are using Mac, you can still reach out to me. I will show you how we do it in Mac.
Can you repeat that last part, please, once you got
Sure.
to, when you were on desktop?
Yeah, so on desktop, you need to locate your folder. If you locate your folder, you need just to click that folder written Intro to R and then hit open. And then you will see this
Yes,
code.
thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So this means that we are Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes,
Thank you
Moses,
so
we
much.
can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. So let's proceed. It's 5:45, and this would have maybe, but I got a message from Zoom that they are extending this. So we might not need to go to class 2, but the initial message that I got was that Zoom is meant for 40 minutes free account, like I have a free account. So I think let's extend. If the bonus expires, then maybe we can go to class 2. But if it doesn't, if we reach up to an hour, I think that would be okay for today, and then we can think through on how we can do it next week the same time. So, yeah, sure. So the next thing is, how do we know that we are in this directory? Okay, you want to know, okay, maybe I haven't used this set, for example, but how do I know I'm in which directory or in which folder is my R referencing from? So the goodness with R Studio is that you have to create a script. A script is like a notebook where you write down your things. And once you write down a sentence or a command, you need to learn that command, or you need to tell R Studio to say, hey, process this line for me. So as I said, the next question is, we have set a working directory into Intro to R. How do we know that we are in the right directory? So you see my cursor is blinking. I'll write get, then W, like 3 things. So this is the beauty with R Studio. You need not to memorize all the commands, but you need to know what you are doing. So this is different from other softwares, like, for example, Stata. Stata will require you to memorize most of the commands, not all of them, but most of the commands. But if you are using RStudio, you need not to memorize all of these commands because RStudio has them from the background. You need to know at least the first 3-4 words, then, I mean letters rather, then you'll be able to get into there. So if I say get working D like that, then I get the first one. You just press enter on your computer, then it auto-completes. So it will auto-complete for you. And how do we run it? Like, how do we tell RStudio to tell us where we are? You just press enter, and then it will tell you where you are. So it will tell you, Moses, you are in a folder called Intro to R. So I only wrote GETW, and then get working directory comes. So I pick that one by just pressing enter, and then enter again to run the code. Once you run the sentence or the code, it will tell you from which folder you are. This means everything we'll be doing now onward will be more saved in this folder. And if we want, for example, to get data from Excel and push into R for analysis, because most of the data exists in Excel. If you are doing work, for example, you are a physician, and from the physician, you have your computer, and you have maybe a patient card, for example, and then you want to see some certain distribution, you input those data in an Excel sheet. But maybe for processing, you can import that Excel into R, or you can push the data from Excel to R. Or you are using a medical electronic record. You can also put the data from electronic medical records into Excel and then take the Excel into R. Francisco is into transportation. You have a lot of transportation data. For example, you install a GPS machine on a car that is maneuvering in a certain town, and you want to see like you are tracking this car. And then the export of the data might come into an Excel sheet, and then you can import that Excel sheet into R and then process and see the trends. Hello, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear.
All right, perfect. So we proceed. I think we have about 9 minutes. I will maybe ask for an extension maximum of 10 minutes. Because we are a bit, I try to repeat so that everyone gets like on board. Then I'll need to create the notebook I was talking about. So I will go here. I hope you can see my cursor. I mean my mouse where it's hovering. There's a little positive sign there. So if I click on that one, I will have a list of things: R script, R notebook, R markdown, and then those are going down, like for the Python I was talking about, and etc., or the C++ files and etc. But for us, we will only use for the meantime, we will only use the R script. But later on, as the course progresses, we might also explore other things, for example, R markdown and etc. So if you click on that little positive sign to your upper left corner, just beneath where it is written file, if you click on that one, you get R script. So if I get R script, this is how it is going to be like. So now it has splitted the studio into four boxes. So the first box is where we will be typing most of. So for example, I will type 2 + 3, a simple one. If you are using still Windows computer, you press Control and then Enter at once. And then it will tell you down there 2 plus 3 is 5.
Lost.
Okay, thank you so much. Did you get me how to create the script?
Yeah.
Okay, so I said on the script, I'll just type 2 plus 3. If you type 2 plus 3, you can click this button called Learn. And if you hover your mouse there, it will tell you a shortcut from your computer on what to touch in order to learn that code, that line of code. I don't know what 2 plus 3 means. I want R to tell me what 2 plus 3 means or is equal to what. Okay, so I'm assuming I don't even know mathematics. So 2 plus 3, I don't know. Maybe I should use bigger numbers. 903 plus maybe 7723. I don't know. I cannot guess like quickly on what that number is. So if I click enter, I click learn, or on my computer, I just press Control and enter at once. Like you start with a hold Control and then you press enter at once. It will give me a total.
Control and it's not giving.
Okay. But you are in this can you see my screen properly?
Yeah.
You can, right?
Yeah.
Which computer are you using? The type of the computer?
HP.
HP. If you hover the mouse here on learn, what does it, okay. Is there is the control button together with another button? Like for example, showing 2 letters on the very same control button? Like the way let me try to get, yeah, that's what I
got to do Control enter, but it doesn't do it.
It's not working, Control enter. Everyone else?
It has worked.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, okay, Moses.
Yes.
Okay, Moses.
Yes.
Does it work only when you press Control and enter? Or what if you just press enter? Will it give you the results?
Yes. So down here, when you are using the line code where it's written console, if you type 2 plus 3, here you are supposed just to press enter. It will give you the results. But if you are in the script, for example, and like where I am right now, if you press enter, it will go to the next line.
So Moses, what is the difference between giving the command in 2 different screens?
All right. So whatever I am giving in this code console down here, you can see it's blinking, right? Down here.
Yeah.
Yes. If you write any command that you write there is not saved. For example, I close this window. I close RStudio. It means all of these commands that I write in the console are gone. While the command that I have written up there in the script, these commands will still remain. Even if I close R and then when I open back, I'll still find them. So for example, I will do that. So I will close R and then it will ask me, do you want to save this to your workspace? I'll say, yes, perfect. Save me to my workspace. Okay. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the R is gone. If I open RStudio again. There you go. Can you see my RStudio?
Yes.
Now, do we have anything bottom there in the console?
No,
Yeah.
it's not there.
Yes.
Yeah, just,
So Moses, basically, is this like syntax which we run in SPSS?
Yes, it's more like syntax we run in SPSS.
Okay.
Sure. So once you write in the console, it's gone. You'll not find it. But we still have something on top here.
yeah.
So yes, so this is that's why it is recommended to be writing our codes on top there, because I can even securate the code here to you guys, and then you'll be able to run them on your computers. But if I keep everything in the console here, it means once I close R, everything is gone.
Sure.
All right. Can I proceed?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So there's a request here. I don't know how each one of the team will view it, but I have gotten the request that what if we create a WhatsApp or a Telegram or any social platform group where people can ask questions within the week as they will be practicing as we look forward to the next session. So let's keep thinking as I wind up my remaining 10 minutes I asked from you.
All right.
Sure. So the next thing from that is you will need to understand the semantics or in the language, I don't know how we can, like the way we write codes in R. So for example, I usually love so much a code that will have a lot of comments, such that when I send this to Alune, she should be able to get what Moses was developing when he was working on this code. And when you're using RStudio, you are supposed to, RStudio accept a hash as a comment. So everything that starts with a hash will work as a comment. So for example, I'll just put a hash here, a hash symbol, and then I hope everyone is able to know how to put a hash on the computer. Sorry for my assumption, but that's what I'm assuming. So I would say the following, I'll type the following code add 903 to 7723. And if I execute this one, you can highlight it, or even if you press Control Enter, it will not repeat the same. It will just go for the command that you have written, the actual command. I can do the same, just put a hash in the first number, and then if I press Control Enter, nothing will happen down there since I have commented my first line. So I need to uncomment this, and then it will be able to run. That's the first and most important thing, because a code that is full of comments, people will follow that particular code, even if you send it to someone who it doesn't know, but it can just go through the process and knows how to go through what actually was happening. So I can write a code here and share it with Muriel from Haiti, or Sharika from Nepal, or Renard from Malawi, who is currently in Rwanda. You were able to get and know what exactly Moses was doing. So that's it. And then we will also need to understand how does R works in handling variables. So I will quickly open a CSV file. A CSV file is form of an Excel file. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we're able to see.
Yes. So this is an Excel file. It's the population for Malawi by district. So it has an ID, then it has a country here, it has a country code, then from which region. Malawi is divided into 3 and sometimes 4 regions depending on who is doing the demarcations. And then we have the districts here and the like. So these things in the first row are what we call variables. Because I want to give like a background, because these things will be more important in handling our issues. For example, when you want to do analysis and etc. And they will be coming now and again. I'll be mentioning now and again. So I wanted you just to be conversant of what I will be saying. Then these other, the rest of the column from 1 up to 29 in this context will refer to the 28 districts that we have in Malawi. So these are called observations. So we have, I will also be referring this much in R, like an observation, a variable, and etc. So these are variables, and then the rest of them are observations. Now, I go back to my R. I'll need to, for example, I will need to create a variable called age. As I said, this one is just a practice, and more of our analysis will be from a secondary data. So in the subsequent lessons, we'll be getting data from Excel and then push it into R, and then start manipulating or analyzing, generating tables, frequencies, generating charts like histogram, pie charts, and etc., or bar graph and etc. So once, as I said, I'm just like giving you a snapshot. So this is a variable called age, but I want to have numbers. So maybe I ask some colleagues their age. I'll need to install these variables as I ask them into an Excel sheet, but currently I'm not installing it in an Excel sheet, or I'm not putting them in an Excel sheet. So I want just to put them in R. And then I will use something which is called an assigning operator. Like I want to assign this list of, or this observation. This person says is 21, the other person says 27, the other person says 32. These are a list observation. And then I have a variable called age. Now we use, on your computer, there's a less than symbol. If you, for some computers, you press them directly like a less than. For some computers, you need to control, you need to hold the shift and then press less than. Like my computer, I need to hold shift and press less than. I hope anyone can do that.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then I will put a negative on top there, a negative sign on top there. So where there is a plus, closer to it, there is a negative sign. Or wherever you can find a negative sign, so that it should appear like that. This is called an assigning operator or an assignment operator. Meaning to say you are taking something and then you want to assign it to age. In Excel, this would act as our column. Therefore, I'm taking all observations and I'm putting them in like a row, and then I assign that to a variable which is in a column. So in our context, our variable is called age. And then I'll need to put, I'll need to put a C, and then I'll open bracket. The goodness is, once you open one bracket, if you are using RStudio, then the other closing bracket comes automatically. So if I do that, I ask John, how old are you? And John says, I am 22. Then I ask Abel, how old are you? Abel says, I am 46. It's just examples. And I ask Sharika, says, I am 39. And I ask Renard says, I am 47. And then Joel says, I am 58. And Wedson says, I'm 34. And Francisco said, I am 92 or 93. So if I do that, that means I was taking these particular like numbers, and then someone would ask, why are you putting C? So C in this context acts like, we can call it as a concatenator. A concatenator means that you are, it's helping you to combine the numbers or to put the numbers, the way we do in Excel. If you are in Excel, for example, I hope you are viewing my Excel there. I will just put equal to, then I will say concatenate. So I will concatenate this number, comma, that number. And then I'll close bracket. Sorry, I'll close bracket like that. And then it joins. For some who understand the vectors, this is what is known as a vector. So a vector is a list of items or a sequence of data of the same type. Here we have the same type. By type, I mean, like we all have numbers. Age, for example, 22, 46, 39, 47, 58, 34, 93. I know like currently it's a bit confusing, but as we get along, you will learn to understand this. And as I said, most of our thing is not to do too much programming of these kind of numbers, but rather get information from an Excel sheet or in an SPSS format or in a Stata format, and then push that data into R, and then start how we can, one, visualize it, two, create some tables, like frequency tables or summaries, and then how we can work with that data so that it is in a usable form, or if you can explain to someone, is you're able to understand. Remember, if I do that, I will need to learn. So for some, you can just click on this one. If I click on that one, and then if you check to your right where it's written environment, to your right, you find that age, it says it's a numeric, that inside it has 1 up to 7 observations. And these observations are 22, 46, 39, and the like. If this was in Excel, we would have age here, like that. And then here we have 22, 34, whatever those numbers have been, like that. So that's how it would have appeared. But in R, that's how we sign the operator. Unfortunately, my time is up, but allow me just to demonstrate one simple graph. So I want to get a bar graph of this, a bar graph. So I'll just say bar, and then R tells you, hey, Moses, do you need a bar graph or a bar, a bar plot or a bar plot default and derive? So I'll pick the first one, and then I'll pick the very same edge that I just defined on top there. And then I'll run this one, and then in here it produces a graph. I know I have confused many, but it's something that is very doable.
But it's amazing. I like it.
Okay, thank you so much. But it's something that is doable. As I said, our concentration will be not much into programming those numbers and deriving how, but like more of an applied one. Like how can we use the already existing spreadsheets, for example, Excel and etc. As I said, most of the data is collected in Excel. How do we use those ones to come up with graphs and things like those, tables and things like that? And for that, and for some who do the too much of research work, how do we get p-values and things like those? Maybe that would be a separate lesson. But that's how I would introduce R in the first place. I am going to share a PowerPoint presentation. I haven't covered everything in the PowerPoint presentation, but I hope you get to learn something from it. And then we will also have to take it from there next time. If there are any burning questions, you can, it's time for questions. Maybe just 2 or 3 minutes. At 5:15, we will need to stop.
Maybe about the WhatsApp group, which you said maybe we can be communicating. I think that would be better.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whatever you choose, I'm okay. Whatever you choose, I'm okay. I hope everyone has my email address. Maybe you can just shoot me an email address, then I will put together the names and we put on the WhatsApp. And if you encounter any problem within the week, maybe possibly it might be difficult to answer during the daytime because sometimes my work involves traveling where we are not connected. And so I'll be able to answer those kind of questions, maybe like in the evening. And then for some of people here, I understand they already have basic knowledge of R. Some have intermediate knowledge of R who can also help on the same. Yes. So, hey guys, any questions?
Yeah, so I'm saying we're meeting on Sunday, next Sunday?
Yes, next Sunday, same time.
Oh, okay.
It means for this time there will be no any practice materials. It will be practicing until next Sunday or what?
Yeah, sure. So as I said, I'm going to share the PowerPoint presentation. I can also share you some of the materials that you can like put hands-on, which will also help you to like learn through. Just as I said that this process will be sort of iterative. Next time you'll be the one leading, I'll also be listening, listening on the same. Yeah, it's something that we all learn together. I did like on my own, but some of the things, because I don't do them like right now, they keep going.
Yeah.
Sure. And I will share this one in the recording in the same Dropbox, so you'll find it there.
All right.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Moses.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Whoa, whoa.